Welcome back to another episode of Highlander Hockey with Rocky. I'm Casey Campbell. I am your host, and we are pleased to be joined, as always, by Howell Hockey head coach Rocky Johnson. Hello, Rocky. How are you?
Hey, good morning. What a great night, huh? What a great night.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, it's a great day. I mean, I know we got some bad weather out here. I'm sitting in a parking lot just finishing up some laundry for the team, and yeah, we're getting some snow, but it was a great night here in Michigan.
absolutely. Of course, referring to the Michigan Wolverines winning the national championship game over Washington last night, and my goodness, that was a huge game for a lot of people. That was fun to watch. So yeah, for sure. Before we start the show, we have to thank today's sponsor, Engrave It All USA. Of course, you can get anything from Engrave It All USA, including tumblers, sweatshirts, and t-shirts, trucker hats, as well as acrylic knit beanies. Everything that you can think of, and they use all different types of materials, all different shapes and sizes because of all the different lasers they use. Remember, if you can dream it, they can laze it. So log on to engraveitallusa.com, and thank you to Engrave It All USA for sponsoring today's episode of Highlander Hockey with Rocky. The link is below in the description. Go check them out to see what they can do for you. Before we start today, and also before we start today's show, I have a bit of an announcement to make. Rocky, I think you are going to become a grandfather.
Yes.
So let's a little more detail on that.
Why are you taking away my stars, Casey? You do this to me every time. Yeah, man. So it was great. This is kind of the things you look forward to in life. Our daughter flew in a couple of days after the New Year's Day, and we kind of had an inkling. I mean, we've been around a little bit, and my wife and I, Jennifer, she and I kind of had an inkling, but you don't know. And so our daughter flew in. She lives in Oklahoma City with her husband, and they've been trying for quite a while. And she flew in and presented us with a gift, Christmas gift, if you will. And of course, in my gift was a little onesie that said new assistant coach, and it had the Howland logo on the front. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, so she's expecting in July 11th, as it turns out right now. But who knows about that? And supposedly we're expecting a little boy. So yeah, kind of excited, man. I'm gonna be a grandfather, and I'm really old, Casey. Holy smokes.
Jeez. Yeah, you knew I had to. You knew I had to make its own announcement for that. I mean, I wasn't gonna let you say that. I mean, I had to. So,
All right.
yeah, let's big week for let's talk about this week for you guys. It didn't start off well, but it certainly ended well. Of course, I was at the Salem game. They've were you guys 2 weeks this it was a while before you guys played a game since the loss to Brighton, but coming off that and then going into a really good environment in Flint Powers and getting a big win against the defending D3 state champions. What does that say about this team that they can really bounce back from the absolute worst to getting a big win?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we came out of the break. We had some great practices. We've come up with some mental strategies, and we're ready to go. But that's why you play the game, Casey. We came in. We had high expectations versus Salem. We knew they were very well coached. They grind hard. They play tough. The constant battle, and to be fair, and you and I had a conversation after that game. And they didn't show up. Our players didn't show up. They didn't play hard. They really didn't work in the corners or to try to chase down pucks, and it showed. They beat us up pretty good. They had an open net goal at the end, but we lost to a very diligent, very strong, hardworking Salem team that I think maybe we should have come out against and had some success. But to your point, and this kind of leads to some other things that we talked about it as a team. They reset, and we had some meetings with a few of the players, and kind of reiterated some of our expectations. And if you want to be a championship team, Casey, especially in Michigan high school hockey, as competitive it is, you cannot go out there and just think you can beat a team. you got to work. So we travel to Flint Powers and open up that game. And honestly, we played very well. 5-on-5. I think we dominated that game. I think we had the speed that we normally play at. I think we had the tenacity most of the time. We still have a few players that we're trying to work on that maybe aren't understanding what it means to consistently have some urgency in your game, but that'll come. And listen, they scored a couple of power play goals and came back in it, and we never quit. And I'm pretty proud of our guys. I'm pretty proud of the mindset. I'm proud of where they came from after the Salem game. And we got a great group of kids. We have great senior leadership, captains, including the rest of the seniors and the juniors and such. And so I think we're going to learn a lot from that. And listen, we've got a tough game tomorrow, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of the boys and how we finished off against a very well coached, very, very, very good, fast team in Flint Powers. And coming out on a victory is huge. I mean, that puts us right back on the map.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's before we get into previewing those games, it's now time for Rocky's 3 stars of the week. I know I kind of ruined one earlier, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let's what are your 3 stars of the week, Rocky?
All right. So listen, the program had a great week, right? I mean, obviously the Salem game notwithstanding. But I think overall, as a mindset, our program, when I say program, I mean our varsity and our development team, because we are one program. I think we had a really great weekend. Our development team went down to St. Ignatius in Ohio, played against their varsity B team, and really came out on top. They lost the first game by a goal. And then the second game, they came in and had a victory. So I want to give our development team and our coaching staff down there, Jay Meyer, head coach down there, and the way those boys really rallied. They came back from a deficit in the first game, came back and won the second game. And, that's good hockey down there at St. Ignatius, a great competitive school. They went down and split it with a varsity B team. So I'm super proud of them. They get the number 3 star. Number 2 star. Okay, I'm not from Michigan. We all know that. I'm sure you can all hear it in my voice when I get talking fast enough. I'm from the New England area. But can we just have a really great number 2 star to the University of Michigan's football team? I mean, was there anybody in Southern Michigan or Southeastern Michigan or Michigan at large that wasn't watching that game against the University of Washington and how they had the character and the strength and the diligence and the urgency to capitalize and win the national championship undefeated? So 2 stars out for that. They went through a lot of trauma, a lot of adversity, and they just kept coming. So 2 stars to that. And again, listen, my number 1 star, you ruined it for us. But can we say it enough? I'm going to be a grandfather. My wife's going to be a grandmother. And hopefully we're praying for a healthy baby boy. And we're just super excited for that. So I got to say, hockey notwithstanding, that's the number 1 star of this week.
Yeah, congrats again. Congrats to you and your family. That's a big deal for you guys. Yeah, it's yeah. All right, let's got a big week ahead of you guys. You're gonna have to Traverse City this weekend. But before you do that, now this is of course Novi comes to 140 Ice Den. I will be there. They also do a few things while I'm there too. More on that later. So what of course going into Novi, obviously don't forget you can catch the Cat's Corner this week where we'll preview Novi's week, which is also on this channel. And just talk about going in and playing a team that you have beaten previously before. Now, I should remind everybody, this is everyone has a KLAA ranking game, and this is that game for you guys.
Right. So to your point, I just want to point out that each year the KLA decides that we're going to play what's called a ranking game, and that's based on MPRs that the high school MHSA used to rank all our teams throughout the state. And so the KLA will take the number 1 and number 2 team, the number 2, number 3 team, number 4, and so on and so forth. And so our ranking game this year ends up with Novi. And that's tomorrow night. Obviously our conference and division game was played earlier. We had success. But Novi's coming off a tough trip up at the UP. But if anything will sharpen iron is iron, and going up in the UP and playing against those tough teams, we're fully expecting a Novi team to be re-energized, rejuvenated, hard as nails. They always work hard. again, coaching staff's great job. And they kind of pulls out some tricks and do some things. So we got to be on our toes. Listen, if we can come out like we did against Salem, they're gonna have their field day with us. I mean, they're a tough team. But I'm hoping, our boys, I'm proud of our kids, and I think we'll come out hard. And I think it's going to be a very challenging game. Novi's a great team. So we got our hands full with Novi, and I don't want to look past them. But then you did mention that we're going up to Traverse City this weekend. We head out Thursday night, get up there to Traverse City Thursday for the North-South showcase that we play in. What an outstanding job. I mean, Bay Reps hosts this. They do a phenomenal job. And we enjoyed it last week. We were fortunate to be invited back for this year. And hey, hold on to your hats. Hold on to everything. We're going to meet one of the best teams, if not the best team in the state of Michigan, Byron Center, on Friday night at 6 p.m. Man, I'm telling you, Center Ice Arena up there in Traverse City. You want to watch a hockey game? We better bring our A game if we want to compete with this team. And if we're not moving our feet, if we're not getting to pucks first, if we're not we're going full speed and playing the game and moving the puck. If we don't have our A game, it's going to be a tough one. So we need to get out there. We need to play hard. We need to focus on them. Again, not looking past Novi. Novi is the first immediate, but as we're talking about the week, and then we have Traverse City Central on at noontime on Saturday, which, if I believe correctly, State Champs is going to be broadcasting that, or at least involved with that at some level. We're excited for that. I've never played against Traverse City Central in the time I've been at Howell, so I'm excited for that. The legacy there. So we're looking really forward to it. It's a great trip. Hopefully, snow notwithstanding. I think they're expecting some tough roads and some tough snow up there. But, we got our Dana as our bus driver that we use, and we're pretty excited about them. So he always takes good care of us, never lets us down. So we're excited.
Absolutely. All right. You guys have a fun trip up there. I will,
thank you.
And of course we'll be there on Wednesday to see what, Howell and Novi can do. Obviously the two shows are going at it, so that'll be fun. We'll get to catch the Cat's Corner later on today, sponsored by, of course, Engrave It All USA. So stay tuned for that. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Highlander Hockey with Rocky. Tune in next week where we'll recap all of these games. Plus, we'll preview what is to come the following week. All right. Thank you again, Rocky.
Thanks, Casey.